Hello everyone, I am live on YouTube. I will also go live on TikTok now. Just bear with me and then I will start the questions. Okay, I am live on TikTok as well. So anyone joining can ask questions. On YouTube it's only a subscriber member only live. On TikTok anyone joining can ask questions, and you can also consider becoming a subscriber on TikTok. I will prioritize your questions. Any member on YouTube can ask their questions as well. On YouTube it's a member only live, so you will have to become a member, maybe this way. Okay, let's adjust the camera. Okay, some questions coming. First, on YouTube a member has asked a question. So hi Mr. I've asked the question, please respond as okay. I think I've already replied to your question in the comments. If you have the question again, please do type it in the chat. So okay. Good afternoon everyone. I am live on YouTube and I am waiting for everyone to come live, ask their questions. In this live I can only give 1 minute answers, 30 seconds to 1 minute answers, a yes and no, etc. So that is what I will do. I cannot give a detailed immigration advice over here. This is not an advice session per se. It's just a guidance, a brief guidance. So I have some concurrent viewers on YouTube now. All the viewers joining, thank you very much for joining. So on YouTube it's only a member only live, so only members can ask questions, everyone else can watch. On TikTok everyone can ask questions. No questions yet. So on YouTube also, just want to make a caveat that there are a lot of questions and comments coming through, but it is difficult for us to manage all of them. So we are only prioritizing and answering those comments which are from members or from super thanks, etc. So yeah, do consider becoming a member on YouTube or maybe a subscriber on TikTok, and you can ask your questions. Now on TikTok anyone can ask questions if you want to. So 5 members have joined on TikTok, now 9. On YouTube I have 5 yet. Thank you everyone for joining. If you have any questions, I can answer only answers within 30 seconds to a minute. Usually I will do. It will be a guidance, it's not immigration advice. I am a level 3 advisor. I also do appeals, advocacy, everything. So, and if you offline, if you're asking any comments through TikTok or YouTube, do become a member on YouTube. Only then we usually do respond offline when I'm not live. And on TikTok also consider becoming a subscriber to the channel. It is a very nominal cost, maybe the cost of a coffee or something, but you'll get answers to your burning questions. Thank you very much for the overwhelming response on the videos last week. Usually on YouTube there have been considerable views. Okay, no questions yet. Waiting for questions. If anyone has any questions, you can feel free to ask them now. I will be live for about 30 minutes or so, 30 minutes, depending on how questions come through. I'm trying to see if any questions I already have on YouTube, if I can take up, which have been asked repeatedly. Comments, rules. Still waiting for any live questions. In the meanwhile, I will take some questions that are in YouTube comments. I will try to answer them. Maybe which are okay. On the DCOS information, many people have asked this question. In the meanwhile, I'll just take that question. The courses and all that have been applied prior to 4th of April, certificate of sponsorship, whether usually defined certificate of sponsorship, if you have used them and if any employees have filed them before, they all have been deleted from the system. So any employer, so if you are a prospective employee or something, you are waiting for a course from the employer and the employer is still thinking that the previous course which was applied for before 4th of April will be considered. That is not the case. All the course applications have been deleted from the system. A new defined course application will have to be made by all employers. So that is a common question that I got on YouTube. So just want to give clarity on that. Let me take something else. Okay. One other clarification, several questions I got on YouTube is regarding skilled worker visa and being able to work anywhere. So I know the new changes have opened up that you can work in any skilled occupation. So remember, the occupation should be a skilled one. Many members have asked on various social channels whether they can work for a takeaway, whatever, Uber, etc., Deliveroo and all. You may not be able to work for those. So because they are not considered as skilled occupations which are sponsorable under the sponsor license for a skilled worker. So they don't come under the list of skilled occupations. So that is not possible. I know individuals may do that, but it is not allowed under the rules. Secondly, yesterday we got a clarification from Home Office regarding so anyone who already has a skilled worker visa, the previous conditions were they can only work in a shortage occupation or in the same job code. But then Home Office has clarified that they are not going to distinguish between previous skilled workers and new skilled workers. So under the old rules or the new rules, everyone will be allowed to work in any skilled occupation. So that is one good clarification, that previously there was a restriction that has been taken off now. So that is another point that I've got some questions on. I'm just trying to see a line of questions and trying to address them rather than individual questions. Anyone coming live can ask their questions on TikTok. Any members can ask their questions on YouTube. I'm live at both the places. I see there are 22 concurrent viewers on YouTube. On YouTube, if you want to ask a question, you'll have to become a member. There are membership options you can see even in the description of this live. On TikTok, anyone coming live, I see around 15 people are live. Any information on this live or on the channel helps you, to consider subscribing on TikTok, becoming a member on YouTube. I'll take another line of questioning that I see. What about overstayer with British husband children? Okay. On the financial requirement for spouse and partner visas, it's changed to 29,000 from 11th of April. One of the good points, so this is another clarification, no live questions. Anyone coming live can ask their questions. By the time I'll just answer any common questions that I see. So for the children, the child component has been taken off. So whether you have no children or you have 1 or 4 children, the financial requirement would remain the same, 29,000. Anyone who is already in the UK on the spouse partner rules, before the change of 29,000 happened, for example, your first visa was issued on the 18,600 financial requirement, you continue to remain on that one till you get your ILR, extensions, ILR, everything, provided the partner remains the same, the husband or the wife remains the same. That's what Home Office has confirmed. So if the partner remains the same, then you remain on the same financial requirement. What else? Okay. New entrant skilled worker visa. Yeah, new entrant video. I've got several questions. So how long can you get a new entrant category skilled worker visa? Now it may be difficult because the 30,960 is the minimum salary. If anyone applying for the first time, a new entrant would ideally be applying for the first time. So almost all the graduate route holders who are switching or students who are switching, they would end up with a 3960 of a minimum salary, 30,960, or 70% of the going rate. That's how I remember. So 3960 is the lowest hurdle they will have to meet, as I see from all the job codes that I've seen under skilled occupations. So that is one thing. And how long can you get a new entrant category skilled worker visa? Students switching after successful completion of the course can get up to 4 years of the new entrant category visa. After that, remember, they will have to switch and go on to the standard experienced worker salary rate. Anyone who is switching from a graduate route into a new entrant category can apply for up to 2 years of new entrant category visa. After 2 years, they will have to apply for further 3 years of skilled worker visa with the normal rate of salary. Also, one clarification we got from Home Office yesterday is if you are on the new entrant category, for example, you were a graduate route holder, you are already on the new entrant visa before 4th April. So on 3rd April or before, if your graduate route application was approved, you were subject to 26,200. So 26,200 was the base rate. Now the base rate has gone to 29,000. So the base rate for a new entrant who is already in the UK, I have not yet made a video on this, but this is a good clarification that I got. If you are a new entrant and you are in the UK, before the changes you got the new entrant skilled worker visa on or before 3rd of April, your application was approved. Then whenever you extend and you come into the normal category experienced skilled worker, you will be hit with the base rate minimum salary of at least 29,000. So from 26,200 at the time when you applied, you would have been had the base rate of 26,200 and you would have been paid at least 20,960, 80% of 26,200. So the only thing that will change for you is your base rate will change to 29,000. The 38,700 will not apply. Someone switching from new entrant to a skilled worker visa, but that new entrant was approved before the changes under the old rules. Okay, see some messages coming through. Okay, why don't I see any messages? Okay, anyone has any questions, please do ask them, type them. I know many of you are asking to join. I don't understand what that is, but yeah, better type your questions. Okay, what else? Common line of questioning that I have. So I'm trying to go through the YouTube channel where a lot of comments and questions have been asked. We usually prioritize the questions and answer them within 24 hours if you are a member or you send it via super thanks, etc. On TikTok also, anytime you have a question, a 1 minute yes and no answer, possible, not possible, like the things that I'm talking now, we will give the answers usually within 24 hours. If you subscribe on TikTok, and you can ask on TikTok as well, you become a subscriber. Okay, let me take some questions. What about an overstayer? Okay, this is also a common line of question that I get. What about an overstayer spouse with British husband and children? Wife has overstayed visitor visa, marriage took place overseas. Okay, yeah, this is an interesting one I will take. Common situation. So one of the partners, so the question is, what about an overstayer spouse with British husband and children? So the girl is an overstayer, the husband is British, and they have children. So since through the husband the children will be British, The overseer spouse may not be able to apply for a spouse visa, but definitely a parent visa, usually if the children are living with them and the overseer spouse has some responsibility, at least joint responsibility, taking care of the children, etc., for the day-to-day activities and all. It is possible for that overseer spouse to get a parent visa or a spouse visa with a parent exception, whatever you call it. So that is possible, and it will be given on the 10-year route to settlement and in future at any time after getting that, if they meet the financial requirement at any point, the overseas spouse can then switch from the first visa to a 5-year route, from the 10-year route visa to a 5-year route visa at any time they meet the financial requirement. That is possible. Yeah, we've done that many times. What else? I'm trying to take questions from the YouTube comments and try to answer them. Anyone coming live on YouTube, you can become a member and ask any live questions. Where is the live chat? Okay, here it is. Okay, so one member has asked a question. Riha's activity channel. Okay, thank you for becoming a member. Let me see your question. So as my department is already in the UK, what options shall I choose? Will any other family members be applying to come to the UK? Yes and no. So that is an application question. I'm usually not going to answer that, but it's an easy one. I will just take that. As my department is, so your dependent is already in the UK and is already in the UK. So what option shall I choose? So this is the question on the application form. Will any other family members be applying to come to the UK? They are already in the UK, so no. The answer should be no. Literal reading of the question. Okay. JJ, thank you for becoming a member, bronze member on YouTube. Yes, you can ask your questions. I'm waiting. Any live questions here? Okay, TikTok. Okay, I have. How skilled worker visa can do our own business now? No, you cannot do your own business on being on a skilled worker visa. That's a yes and no answer. Yeah, so Vriya's activity, yes, I have answered it. You can answer it as a no. Yeah, it is a dependent. I understood that. Will any other family members be applying to come to the UK? No, because your family member is already in the UK. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Hiren. Yeah. Okay. No other questions on TikTok yet. Let me take some general questions from. Where is the channel gone? Let's take it here. On UKVI website, how it's saying that we can do our own business as well as it's updated on website now. Okay, yesterday when we tried to ask the case working manager, they said that skilled workers are not allowed to work by themselves. And I remember they also referred to the work time restrictions. So there is a law how long you can work in the UK. So if you're already working 37.5 hours or so, doing a business of your own may not be our understanding. I understand that. But my advice will stay. You are not allowed to do your own business being on a skilled worker visa. I will stick to that. Or you will have problems at the point of ILR. I know people are doing this, but I would advise I have to stay within the realms of the rules. Okay, about doing business, taking on additional work. You can do overtime. Yes, you can do that. There's no limit on the number of hours. You can also work 20 hours in a week in a job, your own business, as long as you're still doing the job you're being sponsored. Yes, it says that on the face of it, but when we get a clarification from office, they always say that you have to be employed. Because in the guidance there is no clarity on doing business, and that will be a big abuse of the system. People will just get skilled worker visas, do their own businesses and all of that. It will not be practicable. Can we do additional work on skilled worker visa, 20 hours? Yes, you can. Okay, JJ, thank you for becoming a member. Okay, Hiren, another question. Skilled worker and dependent can work and do business both at the same time. Yes, the dependents don't have any restrictions. Till now, dependents can work in the UK, they can do their own business, they can do whatever they want, they can decide not to work. So dependents don't have any restrictions, but the main applicant has all the restrictions. Okay, JJ, your question. What documents must be submitted while submitting skilled worker application? CV, employment contract and offer letter important. CV, employment contract, CV, employment contract and offer letter. They are not important. Main thing Home Office always focuses is on the certificate of sponsorship. That is what they care about. That is what the employer is telling the UKVI. These are the terms of the contract. If they want, whenever they apply for a defined certificate of sponsorship, they do ask for these documents to assess if everything is genuine. But as a part of your skilled worker application, you are not required to submit a CV, even employment contract or offer letter. I have done many applications with just a COS, certificate of sponsorship. Okay, JJ, I think that's answered your question. I will take some more questions. I'll remain live for maybe 10 more minutes. If you have any questions on TikTok, you can ask me. On YouTube, you can become a member and ask any questions. Okay. Okay, no questions seem to be coming on either of the channels. I will wait for 5 more minutes and then I will end the lives. If anyone has any questions, you can ask them now. I'm trying to find any general questions that I can answer. Okay. Personal allowance and £1,000. Can you clarify that, please? Personal allowance. What do you mean and what reference is that? If you can detail what your question is. I don't know what you mean, personal allowance. Thank you, JJ. Okay. Again, here another question. Shortage occupation list is replaced with salary list. ISL, immigration salary list. That is, shortage occupation has been replaced with ISL, immigration salary list. Yes, that is correct. Okay, no more questions coming through. Thank you. Thank you, Hiren. Thank you, JJ, for being a member. Thank you for supporting the channel. Yeah, not many people joining, not more questions. I will try and end this live, maybe publish more videos this week. Anyways, I do have these weekly lives. I will do create a live session for next week. Personal trading allowance. What is the reference? What visa are you referring to? I don't understand. What is that you are trying to ask me? Personal trading allowance? Which visa? What category? Personal allowance 1000. Can you clarify that, please? Personal trading allowance. I don't understand. What is your reference? What visa are you asking about? Okay, no more questions on either of the channels. I will end this live and there will be another live next week. So I will create, so schedule it shortly. Ending the lives now and ending it over here. Stop streaming. Okay, JJ, you asked the question, can we apply with the old SOC code for the cost assigned? Cost is assigned. So if the cost is assigned 1, 2, 3, 4 and the cost and the SOC code has changed, you will have to, on the skilled worker application, it may not allow you or it may not accept it, but you may have to write a supporting covering letter. The visa will be granted on as per the SOC code on the cost. What you state on the skilled worker really doesn't matter. Can we apply with old SOC code? Yes, if it is, you can select it on the option. Yes, you should apply with that. Yeah, it is assigned before on or before 3rd April. Then yes, you have to apply with the old SOC code. But there may be a problem that yes, individuals may face. You may not see it on the system or you may not be able to select it on the drop down. You have, so for example, if your previous SOC code that was approved before the changes, skilled worker visa application doesn't show the old cost. Yes, that's correct. We asked this to Home Office senior manager yesterday. They clarified that whatever is the main matching SOC code. So for example, if you are a healthcare worker, it was 6145. Now it is 6135 instead of 45. So if your course was approved on 6145 and now for the same job it is 6135, on the skilled worker application select 6135, what it is giving you, attach a supporting covering letter saying that my course is approved on 6145, however the new course as per the new SOC 2020 is 6135. Yeah, so that's it. Just let the caseworker know, please consider my application on the old SOC. So something like that. They will anyways consider by default as per the certificate of sponsorship, but that's what the senior manager told us, that write a supporting covering letter stating this is what you have done, because there will be different SOCs in both of them. Write a covering letter explaining this. Yeah, so and that's it. I will end this live on, is there an email to ask questions for members only? Sorry, there is no direct, all the questions are answered only on YouTube for memberships on YouTube, and for TikTok subscribers it is on TikTok. So everything you have to directly do. If you want a private consultation for your case, you have to book a paid consultation. Links are there on this channel also in the bio things. You can have a video consultation of 30 minutes and you can book it automatically through our website, or on the YouTube you have the website link. Other than that, all the questions on YouTube will be only answered through YouTube itself, either on the live or through comments. Okay, thank you very much. No other questions. End stream.